to start. We're going to start by just using a little bit, getting the idea that I do this against a wall rather than a chair, but we are just going to use the chair just to give us a little bit of support. So we're going to bring our roller behind the back, and we're going to shoot for that nice little ridge right above the tailbone, that low curve of the back. And then we're going to place the roller there, but now we're going to kind of scooch down so that we can plant that part of the roller against the back of your chair. It's a little awkward. It's much easier on a wall, but once you found your way here, you're going to step your feet to a good position. And then we're just kind of rock that low back across the roller. At a wall, what that would look like, if I was doing it at a wall, I would just kind of put that roller up against the wall, think wall sit, and then I just start to rock my hips a little side to side. So if you have a wall available and you'd rather do that than not use the chair, do what feels the best to you. But just know that this is a really nice way to come into the low back without that pressure or all of your body weight on your low back, because there's not a lot of bony support on the low back. So if your low back's ever feeling like it could use a little roll, this is a nice way to find it without putting so much pressure on your spine. Awesome. Take one more little rock side to side. And then when you're ready, release that roller from your low back. Move your chair just out of the way, just so that it's not going to impede in your rolling. And then from here, we're just going to find a little bit of soft turn side to side, bringing the roller from one hip to the other. One more soft position with this side to side maneuver. And then we're going to bring it up across the belly button and then do our little kayak row. So we're going to put a little pressure on, drag that roller across the belly button line over to the side body and then over to the other side. So we really want to put a little bit of gentle pushing in towards the belly, unless you have anything going on, hernia, abdominal surgery, anything like that, that would not be beneficial. But if it feels okay to be here, light pressure on, drag that roller side to side. Wonderful. One more little roll side to side. And then as you come back to center, step your feet so they're a good even distance, bend your knees a little bit, put a little pressure on, we're rolling down the tops of the thighs, put a little pressure on, roll it back up. Put a little pressure on, roll down the tops of the thighs, put a little pressure on and come up. Put a little pressure on, roll down the tops of the thighs, put a little pressure on, roll up. Nice, two more just like that. Awesome. And then on this next one, we're going to gently roll across the tops of the knees, and then we're going to keep a bent knee position and then put a little pressure on, walk down the tops of the shins, put a little pressure on, walk up right towards the knees, put a little pressure on, roll down, put a little pressure on and roll up. One more like that. Put a little pressure on, roll down, put a little pressure on, roll up. And then we're going to roll down so that we can steamroll the tops of the feet. So we're putting a little press onto the roller, rolling up to the ankle and down towards the toes. Keep a gentle bend in the knees so that you're not yanking against the hamstring muscles. One more gentle push into the tops of the feet, roll up and down, and then roll the roller off of your toes. Keep the roller on the ground, and then just think ragdoll fold here. So a soft, gentle fold. Knees are generously bent. Soften through the back of the body. Let your arms and your head hang nice and heavy here. Keeping that roller on the ground, keeping that generous bend in the knees. You're going to walk your hands over towards the left corner of your roller, and then walk your hands across the roller towards the right edge of your roller. So as you reach across, maybe your opposite hand reaches towards the corner of your roller just to find a little reach and side bend. Take it back over to the other side. Beautiful. One more time each side, or even yourself out. And then as you come back to center, we're going to leave that roller on the ground. Bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then we're going to step in front of the roller so that we can sit our butt onto the roller. So step yourself forward and then sit yourself down. Feet are going to be in a nice wide position. So think feet out to the outer edges of your mat. Once you've got that nice wide position, drop your knees side to side. Awesome. One more little windshield wiper, the knees side to side. And then we're going to step the left foot in, left knee's going to be bent, right leg is going to go nice and long. And then we're just going to take a few points and flex that right foot. So you might, if you were hands free, you might feel a little bit of a rocking of your butt on the roller. It's not a big range of motion, but as you push through the toes and then it rocks back into the heels, you might feel, if your sits bones are on the roller, that slight bit of rocking right in the center of your glutes. Take one more point and flex. Cool. And then slide that leg in, other leg goes out. So left leg goes long and then back to that same maneuver. Point and flex the foot. If you need to reposition the roller, if it gets a little off kilter in your glutes, reposition it. But we want to find that our sits bones are centered on the roller and we're feeling that little bit of a rock right in the middle of our glutes. Awesome. One more point and flex. And then you're going to step that left foot in. And now we're going to come back to the right leg, but we're going to keep the knee in that bent position. And we're just dropping the knee out to the side and pulling it back in. Beautiful. One more drop of that knee outside and then switch over to the other side. Left knee drops out and pull it back in. Nice. One more in and out with that knee. And now we're going to take it into that big roll across the glute. So we're rocking from one side to the other, staying on that line of the glute. So rolling across the sits bones over to those side glutes. So gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and then taking it right over to the other side. Beautiful. The next time you come over to the right, stay there, and then take your big roll up and down. Nice. One more roll up and down on this side. And then when you're ready, take it over and across the other way, lean in, and then find your big roll up and down. Beautiful. One more big roll up and down, and then come back to center. Pause in the center for a second, readjust your tailbone, and then we're going to take our legs into a cross-leg position, so Sukhasana or crisscross applesauce, and then just readjust your roller so that it's like a little seat, so you can sit up nice and tall and comfortable. Right hand on the roller, left hand up alongside your ear, lean over to the right, take a little side bend, and then your hand can come off the roller to any depth that feels right to you. Cool. When you're ready, lift up, take it to the other side. So hand on the roller, hand on the ground, whatever works good for you, but side bend the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up, and we're going to take it right into a little seated twist. So left hand's going to find the right thigh, rotate to the right. Awesome. Release, take your twist over to the other side. Beautiful. And then take it back to center. And we're just going to take a couple of little tick-tocks of the head. So drop your ear side to side. Just kind of tune in. Notice how your neck feels. Notice how your shoulders feel. And notice the muscles that connect that jaw to the side of your neck. Beautiful. One more little drop of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, we're going to step those feet off, releasing that crisscross position, hands on the roller with control. Lift your butt up and away, lower your butt down, but hug it up nice and close. And then we're just going to drop our elbows behind the edge of the roller. So we're going to find that low back position, but we're not putting a lot of body weight on. We're just going to lean back just a little bit, feel a little gentle stretch through the low back, and then pull the abdominal muscles, lift back up with control. Keep those elbows over the edge of the roller. Lean back just a little bit. Let your elbows support this movement. Pull yourself back up with control. One more just like that. Lean back just a little bit. Pull yourself back up with control. And then we're going to swing the legs out to the side and find our zigzag seat or our mermaid situation. So left leg in front, right leg out to the side, or vice versa. We're going to do both sides. So whatever works best for you. Roller out to the side. And then we're going to lean out, top hand reaches up with control. Use those side body muscles, lift up, take a counter stretch over the other way. Lean out with control, roll out as far as feels right to you. With control, bring it back up and take a counter stretch. Beautiful, one more just like that. Lean out. Awesome, bring it back in with control, counter stretch. And then we're gonna rotate, so both hands on the roller, and we're gonna roll out to a depth that feels appropriate for you. So go only as far as you feel comfortable in. You should be able to breathe comfortably. You may find that there's a lot of like belly and chest tissue going on there and you only can go so far. Just go as far as feels right. You wanna make sure you can take a nice, big, generous inhale. Slow exhale. Cool, and then firm up your arms, press into that roller, come back up with control, lean back into your sits bones, swing your legs out in front of you, nice long legs, roller on the thighs, steamroll the tops of the thighs, go about 3 times forward and back. Awesome, and then we're gonna angle it out. So we're gonna find that outer edge of the thigh, angle to one side, roll up and down. Beautiful, one more time, up and down on this side, and then we're gonna angle out to the other thigh. So we're gonna find that outer edge of the thigh, angle out, press on, and roll your way up and down. Beautiful, one more up and down here, and then we're gonna take that roller off to the other side, swing your legs out, find your mermaid seat first, or your little zigzag seat, and then once you found your way there, I said move the gear, but I didn't even move my own gear. All right, so we're rolling out, top hand reaches up. With control, lift yourself back up, take your little counter stretch. Hand to the roller, roll out with control. With control, come back up, take your counter stretch. Nice, one more time here. Roll out with control. Pull back up, take your counter stretch. And then we're gonna rotate, so both hands are gonna find the roller. Once you've got that rotated torso, lean out just to a depth that feels good to you. Make sure you can breathe comfortably here. Nice, and then when you're ready, push into the top of the roller, come up with control. Swing your legs out in front of you, and now we're gonna take it to the shins. So we're gonna go over the knee joint, and then onto the tops of the shins, we're rolling out, put a little pressure on, roll it back in. Put a little pressure on as you roll out, a little pressure on as you roll back in. 3 more to go here, just moving at your pace. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees and then slip that roller underneath that bent knee position so that we can find our way down onto the ground. So take the roller with you, bring it nice and close to the butt, and then we're going to lift the hips up, set your hips onto the roller so we're in that supported bridge position. Make sure it's underneath your tailbone and underneath your hip bones so it's nice and supported. Once you've got that roller in place, let your arms come out at your side. And then just invite some softness in. Soften your belly, soften through the front of your hips, soften the tops of your thighs. Everything as soft as you can find it. And then we're just going to breathe here for a few moments and let gravity do a little work for you. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to take some alternating knee pulls. So we're going to draw the right knee in, right hand's going to reach up, bring it in for a little squeeze so we can press the front of the hip and then release, switch to the other side. Left knee is going to come in. We're going to grab that knee, pull it in for a little compression and then release. And then just take that a few times each side, keeping that standing leg bent. So we're not extending the leg nice and long. We're really focusing here on just pulling the knee in, compressing the front of the hip and then releasing. Two more on each side. Last one here, or just even yourself out. And then when you're ready, we're just going to make sure that the roller is good, firm underneath your hips. Pull both knees up, and then we're going to let the knees kind of drop into the chest. So you might feel that roller kind of move underneath your tailbone. So if you need to readjust, take a second to do that. And then once you've found your way here, knees in towards the chest, tailbone, and the hips on the roller, you're just going to rock your knees a little bit side to side. One more little rock side to side, and now we're going to take that into some circles. So draw your knees in circles, go in one direction. Beautiful, draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Nice, and then as your knees come back to center, you're gonna hold onto your right knee. Now let your left leg go nice and long, all the way down to the end of your mat. If your heel can find the floor, that's awesome. If it doesn't find the floor, don't worry about it. Just let it hang as heavy as you can. And then what we're shooting for is a compression through the right hip, lengthening through the left. So think where your front left pocket would be, that's where we're shooting to find a little stretch. So left leg nice and long, take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, pull that left knee back into the chest, and we're switching sides. Hold on to your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long. Heel finds the floor if it can, or just let the leg hang nice and heavy. Tune in. So we now compress the left front of the hip and lengthen through the right front of the hip. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then pull that right knee back in, release your left, and we're going to think legs up the wall. So we're going to keep our tailbone on the roller, super generous bent knee position. So you don't have to work too hard against the backs of your legs, just reaching the feet up towards the sky. And again, here we're just going to let gravity and the breath do a little work for us here. So no need to effort too much. Soften your shoulders, relax your belly, take a nice big breath. One more breath. And then when you're ready, just a little wiggle the toes, a little movement of the ankles as you start to bring your feet down to the ground. You're going to lift your butt up, move that roller out from underneath you, set your butt down, and then just give a pause for a moment. Let your back readjust, take a breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to prop yourself up so that you can bring that roller underneath the shoulder blades. So we're moving on up to the top part of the back. So bringing that roller underneath the shoulder blades, lean back a little bit, hands behind the head. As you inhale, lean over the roller. Exhale, contract the abdominal muscles, come up nice and strong. Beautiful. Inhale, lean back. Exhale to come up. One more just like that. Inhale, lean back. Exhale to come up. And then we're going to take this into a gentle back bend. So releasing your hands, reaching up and overhead, letting your head drop back just as much as feels comfortable. Make sure you can sustain it and you can come out with control. One more breath. And then on your exhale, pull the abdominal muscles in, come with control, crisscross your arms across the chest, and we're just going to start to rock side to side. And the next time you roll over to the right, you're going to push into your feet, lift your butt up, and then give a nice roll up and down. Here you want to keep a slight firmness in your abdominal muscles so your low back feels supported. Take one more roll up and down. And then when you're ready, set your butt down, come to center, switch the cross in your arms, rock a little side to side. Cool. And then the next time you rock over to the left, stay there, push into your feet, lift your butt up and rock up and down. One more good roll up and down here. And then come back to center. Release your arms, hands behind the head or free arms, whatever feels the best to you here. But now we're going to take that big roll up the shoulders. So from the shoulder blades all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. We're going to start there, see how that feels. If you know that you have really great control on the roller, you have a real good sense of keeping your abdomen firm, and you want to take it into the low back a little bit, but just make sure that it's something you've got great control of. So hands behind the head just to support the neck. You can roll down towards the low back, but you've got to keep your abdomen firm. There's not a bony structure there to support. If you feel like you're in doubt as to whether or not you've got control of it, leave that part off. Just stay in the top part of the shoulders. But if you feel like you've got good control, firm up the abdomen, roll towards the low back, and then keep it all under control as you roll back up to the shoulders. One more nice good roll up and down. And then as you come towards the tops of the shoulders with control, release your butt down. And then we're going to move that roller underneath that ridge of the skull. So find this nice, strong structure underneath your head. Let your head rest on the roller like a pillow. Pause for a second. Just let your arms come out at your sides. Let your belly soften. Let your shoulders relax. And then keeping your head in that center point, we're just going to gently nod the head up and down. So it might not be a big range of motion, just a light little tilt of the chin up and a tiny tuck of the chin down. Nice. One more little nod of the head up and down. And then keeping at that center point, we're going to draw little 1-inch circles in the air with our nose. So it's not a big range of motion, super small, super mindful, turning in one direction. And then when you're ready, take those little circles, go the other way. Awesome. One more turn in this direction. And then we're going to turn our head side to side, just taking a few rocks ahead across the roller. Beautiful. And then the next time your head turns to the right, stay there, and then come back to that nodding of the head up and down. Small range of motion. It's not huge, but just allow, you may be finding that ridge of the skull that's kind of right underneath the ear joint, right underneath your ear. One more little nod up and down, and then we're going to take that and go in circles. Little 1-inch circles, go in one direction. Great. And then when you're ready, take those little 1-inch circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, roll your head over to the other side. Once you're there, just a gentle nod of the head up and down. Awesome. And then when you're ready, draw little 1-inch circles in the air with your nose, go in one direction. Nice. And then take those little 1-inch circles, go the other way. Lovely. And then let your head, those turns come to stillness. Maybe take a couple little rocks side to side, just to kind of bring some evenness back into the back of the head. And then the next time your head comes to center, hands to the roller, lift your head up away from the roller, gently lower your head down to the ground. We're going to take that roller and bring it right across the belly, and then right across the belly button line, and then just let your hands rest on the roller. So it's going to offer just a light, tiny bit of compression. If you get there and that doesn't feel good, then hands off the roller or just leave that off altogether. But with your head in a neutral position, letting your arms be nice and heavy on the roller, take a nice big inhale, fill your lungs up. Nice slow exhale. Inhale, fill your lungs up, feel that little bit of compression against the roller. Nice slow exhale. One more breath. Beautiful. And then releasing that little bit of compression against the belly, we're going to find our way up into a seated position. Place that roller in front of you. We're going to spin the legs around into a tabletop position and finish with just a little bit of puppy pose so we get a nice little stretch through the tops of the shoulders. So with your hips in line with the knees, walk that roller forward just to a depth that feels good, and then let your chest and your forehead drop down. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. Wonderful. When you're ready, firm up your abdomen, pull the roller in with control. If you can, keep your hands nice and solid on that roller. Curl your toes under, lift up into a downward facing dog position or into an upside down V, and then step your feet in so you find a position where your heels are kind of reaching towards the ground. So you're maybe feeling a little stretch through the backs of the calves and through the backs of your hamstrings. Take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. And then soften your knees, step your feet forward, leave the roller on the ground, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. And then we're just going to do a little quick light roll to the bottoms of the feet. So right foot on the roller, maybe just a soft roll to the tissue at the bottom of the feet. Awesome. And then switch, step that foot down, other foot on, and then just a soft roll heel to toe. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, set that foot down just for funsies, just to feel through the back of the body. Reach your hands up and overhead, micro bend your knees, hinge from your waist, reach down towards the ground. You can touch the roller, the floor, or any other depth that feels appropriate to you. Straighten your legs just as much as feels comfortable. Take a nice big breath. And then bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up to that standing position. Maybe shrug out your shoulders. You guys are so amazing. Happy Friday.